Today on the American Truck Podcast, Nintendo is discontinuing the NES Classic. Star Wars Battlefront 2 has a release date. The city's Skylines Mass Transit DLC is coming out soon. And the Switch is Nintendo's fastest-selling console in the US. Hello and welcome to the American Truck Podcast with Andrew C.
And Jefferson B.
I'm terrible at card games.
And freelance gamer. Oh man, you're just learning. It's fine.
I am
It'd be better if it
good
was
at
on
some card
motorcycles.
games. I don't think I'm good at Hearthstone, though.
I would like to say I'm good at the card collecting aspect of collectible card games.
I feel like, isn't everyone good at that?
Having well, no, you have to have money for that.
Yep.
True.
Expendable income!
Yeah.
It's the expendable income song.
That's a quality, it's a quality song there.
It's only 2 words. Very short song.
That is true. More like a jingle.
I was able to get it on Fiverr.
You can
They
get a
put
lot
it
of
on a
things
sign
on
out.
Fiverr.
You can. That is true. Some things we don't want to talk about because they're not advertiser friendly.
That's correct.
So, of
Some
course,
of
it would be horrible of us to bring up the idea of giving random English words, seemingly random English words, to individuals that might not fully understand the English language.
That is true. That would be a
Terribly
terrible thing to do.
irresponsible of us.
It would be.
How dare.
It would definitely be irresponsible. Hey, you know what else is irresponsible?
What else is irresponsible, Andy?
Nintendo releasing a classic console and then, just discontinuing it out of the blue.
Yeah. No. I saw this piece the other day, and it makes me really sad because this is one of those things that like almost legitimized all of the RetroPie and which is a popular game emulation software. All of the people who had spent all this time creating all of these really clever game emulators, and it gave them some legitimacy even. And we were even starting to figure out how to put our own games on a Nintendo Classic, NES Classic. And the rug just got pulled out from underneath us.
Yep. It's,
Stopped making them significant money.
That's true.
But
Now,
that's the thing.
It has an extreme secondary market value.
Oh,
Well, that's
absolutely.
the thing, though, is
it's always had
at
a high value secondary market.
at least as far as I understand, in its primary market, it was still doing really well.
It was doing okay, but here's the thing. All right, if you could say, all right, what's the percentage we're making on this versus how much of these plants that are building this can we put towards building, well, something we should probably segue into now, the highest selling console, the Switch.
True.
I'm
I don't
sorry,
know.
man.
You could have switched better into that segue.
I mean, I'm okay with switching it up here, but I mean, I wish that we could flick the switch back on on the production of the NES Classic.
Not like a full switch over to the Switch, but like legitimately, if you're manufacturing something, right, and you have a percentage return, I have a feeling they probably make a higher percentage or at least a higher total on their Switch at the moment. So it's like, okay, well, we can keep having this retro market, or we can just have these production facilities go towards making Switches, which I will call it. 2017 Christmas, there will be a classic NES bundle with a classic controller for the Switch.
You mean like a software bundle?
Like a software bundle with a lot of NES and maybe SNES titles, and the classic controller as a bundle.
I would even approve of a classic NES themed skin.
Do you know
for
why
the
you
Switch.
shouldn't approve of any of this?
And why is that?
It's a money grab.
Yep.
It is.
It's 100% hey, you bought the classic. You know how it has those really, really short controllers? Guess what? Now you can do it on your Switch, which is wireless. It's only going to cost you $80.
I mean,
that's
it's kind of a guaranteed money grab is the kicker. So
right.
Capitalism is at work here, dude.
I mean,
yeah, but that's absolutely why they're going to be discontinuing it. They're probably going to put out some kind of second system, a second form of it, which is going to be a controller for Switch and probably games.
I'd even be okay with like a SNES Classic showing up in the next couple of months. I think that would be fantastic. I just hope that this was enough of a wake-up call to Nintendo to recall their history and recognize the fact that those who grew up with those consoles are now old enough to have, wait for it, expendable income.
Yeah, but you can't get more money from them.
Well, I mean, you could. I mean,
buy the one console, and right now with the NES Classic, it's only the games that are listed, right?
Right.
There's not additional content. You don't make more than that initial.
Absolutely.
I mean,
That's
I
the
might say
problem.
that the problem was that they only charged $60 for it. That
Also that.
you know, it might have kind of been one of the nails in his coffin. I mean, after the news broke here, eBay said that they were seeing them sell at like the high of $332, and they were selling like roughly one every 2 minutes, and that was just with the announcement that there wasn't going to be more after the next batch comes out. So like the month of April, Nintendo is still shipping NES Classics to stores. And then after that, once stores get their last batch, they're not getting any more of them. So,
okay,
Nintendo did.
You might see an even more of a price hike. That $60
oh, very
console
possibly
might be
once
worth
they're not
$600.
at all available anymore.
I mean, it might be said like this is the way to guarantee the fact they run out of stock.
Right.
Like they sell every if there is an NES Classic to be had, it is going to be had.
God,
Right.
I wish I'd spent $600 and bought 10 of them.
I mean, you still have a
Right.
chance. You still can buy some. You just gotta.
Yeah, if you can find someone who's willing to sell you 10 of them, hey, more power to you.
You just gotta
You
find You just gotta
Yeah.
stake out your local GameStop and try to get.
I would
one.
say, but every GameStop employee is probably staring at them as they come in, going, "Hey, yeah, I'd like to just buy this before my shift's over, and then I'd like to buy 20 of them. Here's all the money, and then immediately put them on eBay."
See that pickup truck there? Can you just take that pallet and stick it in
Hey,
the pickup truck over there?
just load that pallet right on there. We're bringing it home.
True.
Don't worry about it.
True.
Don't even worry about depalletizing it.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll even buy the pallet from you. It's okay.
There you go. Yeah. So I mean, Nintendo did actually say that they had planned on discontinuing this earlier. And they actually continued selling it. Like they made more of them than they originally planned because of how much demand there was.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's interesting.
I mean, it was
If
definitely
true.
a planned thing. They planned on
is
getting rid of
indeed.
it.
It's incredibly interesting. My hope is that this is not a flash in the pan for Nintendo, and that we see these like, I almost want to call like they're not accessories per se, but they're like these interesting little side games that we can have access to.
Right.
You know, rather than like just major landmark consoles. What if we had like smaller side products that just, you know, were slightly more significant than a plush doll, but slightly less significant than a whole Switch? First world problems, man.
First world
First world
problems indeed.
problems.
But things that are, I guess, a first world problem.
First world, this is our only world.
But in ska.
Wow. But the Star Wars Battlefront 2, again, is releasing November 17th. So in case you didn't get your fill out of Battlefront 2 the first time you bought that game, you can buy it again. And it's the same game probably, but different.
No, because if it's the same game, I will buy it.
Oh, but it won't be.
Oh, like
It'll
if
be-
it's the same as Battlefront 2 the first?
It'll be
Yeah.
the same in theory,
Mm.
but it won't be. We all know
Right.
Oh, it's
that.
definitely not. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the trailer yet, but
I
the
did.
way that they're portraying Battlefront 2 the second, I have also seen it, and it looks
looks
pretty freaking
fun.
awesome.
Yeah. Now,
I
here's
am
the thing.
all for this.
I'm
Didn't
not.
we think Battlefront 1 was going to be
One
fun?
looked good.
And then we
Battlefront 1
played
looked
it,
good
and then
enough
it
that
was
we
poop.
played the beta.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then it was
the
poop.
beta was an unbalanced, broken game, and
Yeah.
then it led to some map changes, which made the map that we tested balanced, but other maps were not. Classes were not. There were problems. Now, and that's that game. If they've learned from it,
Which they haven't,
Might have a good one.
because it's
but
EA.
it's EA.
So they don't learn anything.
True.
The only thing
They-
EA has
well,
learned is how to
They
make
learned how to
money.
make more money.
Yep.
Yeah.
They learned also how to make a pretty fantastic trailer. Just
Yes, of course. They're following the Blizzard example, or there's plenty
Cinematics
of games.
sell.
Yeah, cinematics do a great job. If you remember, Knights of the Old Republic, Tor: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
Do you remember that trailer? Do you remember how good that looked?
Absolutely. Wait, are you talking about the MMORPG Sworder?
The MMO Tor. Yeah.
Yeah, Sworder.
That looked amazing. Did you
Every
play it?
single one of them. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. There's a reason you only played it a little bit.
True.
Because
True.
it was garbage.
It wasn't horrid, but
Yeah.
the trailer is just like, it makes you think like, wow, this looks awesome. It looks entertaining. It looks exciting. and then you
Right.
play the game and it's frustrating or dull. Anyway, regardless, Battlefront 2,
The second.
the second, the second in the trilogy, from what I expect.
Second.
Well, we never
my
had a
only-
Battlefront 3, so you never know.
Yeah, so but it did look kind of interesting. They showed some Jedi, and
They
some
did?
Sith,
They showed a lot of Empire.
but they showed in-game cutscenes and no gameplay. So my hype is the same as it would be for anything else. It is cautious.
As it should
If-
be for an EA title.
If there is an open beta, I look forward to testing it.
True.
I am terrified of that moment.
I will try it, and I will not buy it. That's my opinion. Even though it has a full single-player campaign, which Battlefront 1, the first,
Missed.
the second, yeah,
The second.
Battlefront 1, the first, the second, did not have that. This also will be adding an offline split-screen co-op, but it's only going to be for consoles for some reason.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I have no idea why. And they've
we
also
don't know how to deal with computers, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
No love for the LAN party.
Correct. No couch co-op. And they've also said that there's no plans currently for a season pass because that kind of ruined Battlefront 1, the second, and they admitted that. But they aren't ruling out the possibility of something else that will increase longevity of the game. But they haven't said what that could be or would be or might be. So it could be a different form of season pass and just not in season pass name. So
I don't know. My hope, and I mean it's very possible this game could blow away everyone's expectations and be an amazing title, like Battlefront 2, the first, which in my opinion is the superior of the Battlefront titles.
Oh, Battlefront 2, the first, that was a wonderful game.
Exactly. There's and I don't know if I'm just looking at this through nostalgia goggles, which is
No,
a very
I
real
played it.
possibility.
I played it within the past couple of years. It's still good.
Really, it's good to know that it aged as well. I remember it being like it is the quintessential game of my childhood in a lot of ways, or it is one of the quintessential games of my childhood in a lot of ways, and so I would love to see it if Battlefront 2 the second was also the quintessential game of my mid-20s, which is a weird thing to say.
It probably
But yeah,
won't
no,
be.
like, I mean,
Hashtag
I'm not saying it's
EA is a bummer.
sure.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal would be is if Battlefront 2 the second fixes all of those things that Battlefront 1 the second did not do well, and it basically becomes the Battlefront 1 the second that we all wanted it to be.
You mean the
because they had
third?
more development time. Sure. I don't know. We're throwing around a lot of words at this point. We should probably move on to another news topic.
Oh, like City Skylines Mass Transit DLC?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds like
City
a good place for
Skylines, the
me.
Director's Cut Special Release Edition.
Oh look, a game that's better than Sim City.
That's right,
Ooh.
because it's not owned by EA. That's
Burn.
true. They did. EA did ruin that.
Burn.
I mean, they've managed to not make The Sims suck, but they did ruin Sim City.
Sick burn, bro.
Yes, this DLC, of course, we talked in the past that adds ferries, monorails, cable cars, blimps among transit stations and whatnot to be able to connect from one of those transit things to another transit thing. It previously didn't have a release date, now it does. It's going to come out May 18th, and it's going to be $13, which again ratchets
That's
the
a
cost,
weird price
the
point.
total cost of this game up higher than it ever has been before.
What's weird to me is that it's $13, which is probably converted from. I would
Euro.
assume it's converted from euros.
Is it?
It probably is. Yeah, it's probably like 10 euros or 10 pounds or some shenanigans
Some
like
such
that.
nonsense
And
like
so
that.
it's-
But it's also a $13 model train set.
A little bit.
That's not terrible.
And I just don't know how. I don't know how.
That's a pretty
personally,
cheap model train set.
I'll take your word for it. I've yet to meet a train person.
Mm.
And I mean, it's not for me. Then again, City Skylines, not my game, but that's okay. I just think it's kind of fascinating that that's the price point.
Yeah, I mean, $13 is pretty typical for the City Skyline DLCs. They pretty much all have came out around like $13. And,
So what does this bring up the total game price to? Like, how's it looking at
Well,
this
we're
point?
at. I want to say this is like the 5th, maybe 6th DLC for this game. If you assume that they've been roughly $10 each, so you're already at like $60 in DLC, and the game is like base. If it's not on sale, it's like $40.
Is that real? Is that
So you're
launch
talking
price?
about $100 so far, including price changes.
You're easily at $100 if you bought it all at full price, if not more. I mean, when I checked last time we talked about City Skylines, it turned out that it had been on sale, so that you could buy City Skylines for like $10 now. But
Okay.
it just, it all depends on market fluctuation and sales and whatnot.
Yeah.
Usually when they hype one of these DLCs, they'll sell the game and some other bits for cheaper. To just kind of
Push you towards getting the DLC at full.
exactly, because then you're like, well, it's only $13. I bought the game for 10, so now I'm only paying 23. It's not as bad as paying 100 if you
but
want
I gotta
all
get these
of them.
other DLCs. Here's another $40.
Right, and so I mean,
$5 here, $5.
Holy crap! I spent $60 on this game.
Yep,
But you never notice it.
yep, exactly. You spread them costs all around.
Mhm.
I typically, there's enough content in City Skylines. I usually end up waiting a while till it's cheap.
Until it goes on sale.
Yeah,
How cheap do they usually knock them down to, though?
depends on the one you get. Sometimes you can pick them up, about half of what they originally were. So you can take a $13 DLC and get it for $7-8 sometimes.
That's not bad. Especially, I would imagine around like Christmas time and
Yeah.
typical holiday themed Steam sales.
Yep.
Would probably be a great time to pick up some DLC.
So yep, that is that with City Skylines. Moving right along here, there was a Twitch leak.
There was a Twitch leak.
So apparently Twitch is rolling out a beta for their partners on some different subscription levels. One of which is $9.99 or $10. Another one is $24.99 or $25. And those are going to count for people who are subscribing with those tiers as either 2 or 6 subscriber numbers, respectively. So the streamer's going to see people as more to like a more impact towards their total sub numbers now, if they opt into using this new.
Wait a minute. Just out of curiosity, 2 or 6?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
so it's better price per value to do the 25.
Yeah, it's like a 3 for $5 deal.
Yeah, it's 5 for 6 or 6
Yeah.
for 5.
6 for.
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct.
Because 5 subscribers would be $25.
Yeah,
And if you're getting 6, you're getting 1 extra.
it's a buy 5 get 1 free.
yeah, basically,
Oh.
or it's just kind of devalued for the streamer.
Sure. It's interesting. Now, does the streamer then get notified of like, hey, this person contributed at the
Yes.
6 subscriber level?
Yeah, they would definitely.
So
be
you'd have like
informed.
subscribers, super subscribers, and then like super de-duper subscribers.
Basically, yes, pretty much. That is how it would work.
I mean,
And you get different perks depending on what level you're at.
okay.
And it's going to depend on how this streamer chooses to set that up, but generally that's kind of what happens.
So at that point, you're giving freedom back to the creator.
Yes.
Like you're allowing them to, like, because they customize their own channel. There's no constraint on the platform. Like it's kind of the beauty of Twitch that it is this open environment that you can sort of build your community as you see fit.
Correct. Although some people are seeing it as Amazon wanted more of their cut of donations that they weren't getting before. You saw that when they added bits, which is a way that you can technically donate money to a streamer without leaving the Amazon ecosystem. A lot of people end up donating usually via PayPal or credit card through the different streaming services that are out there. And obviously Amazon doesn't get anything of that because it's not their service.
So by keeping it in the ecosystem, you effectively make it better for Amazon at that point. But now riddle me this, just because I'm not super knowledgeable of the streaming world. Is Patreon a thing over there?
It can
It
be.
is.
Yeah, it definitely is a thing over there.
Like that is a known revenue stream for a lot of
Yes.
streamers.
Yep, definitely.
Not for a lot, but it's definitely for a good portion
The
of them.
bigger ones.
I'd probably
yeah.
say like somewhere between 20% and 30% of the market uses it.
But
So my point though is there are other ways to have revenue come in that doesn't directly involve the Amazon ecosystem.
absolutely.
But this is yet another way that both content creator and content consumer are able to sort of alter the way in which they are able to contribute to helping creators specifically get their content out there and kind of keep eating food and paying rent and things like that.
Correct. Some people did complain that it's just another way for Amazon to take a bigger chunk of your money.
Yeah, I can see the controversy. I can. But at the same time, I mean, I'd like to see if Amazon is continually offering more options
Yeah.
to Twitch content creators than Twitch the company ever could.
Absolutely.
sheer number of
Absolutely.
people.
Very true.
So,
that is.
Let them
They've had a
experiment.
big
Let them see
update.
what happens. Hopefully, the market will balance itself out.
And it's an opt-in beta right now. They could very possibly decide that they do not like this and alter it in some way.
Sure.
The streamers might complain about the 6 sub for $25 thing, and it may get changed so it's 5.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, one of the things I thought about with the Twitch thing just now, I'm curious, how does Twitch take money out?
What do you mean? How does the Twitch take money out?
So they have a cut, right?
Right.
Sure.
Oh,
They take a
The
percentage
cut
off the top.
based off
What-
your number.
what is their percentage?
Yeah, but is it percentage of what you're making, or is it for every subscriber you get this amount?
From
removed?
what I was reading, people on Reddit were saying it was half of a sub. So if you sub
Half
for
of a sub.
if you sub for $4.99, you only get half of that.
Okay,
You
got
get
it. So it's
$2.50.
actually half the dollar amount, not half the people amount.
Correct. Which is the same as
Okay.
being half the people amount.
Unless
Well,
you
not
do the
with
6
the
for 5.
25 one, right?
Yeah.
No,
Because
yeah,
then they'd be
not-
taking 3 people's worth of instead of. So you'd get. The reason I ask is because if it was half the people or half the number,
You're going to lose money.
on those you would be getting $10 for
Mm-hmm.
the 5, rather than getting 12 and a half.
Yeah, no, I can see Kyle's point at this, where it runs the risk of causing streamers to lose money, even though they might artificially look really good,
Right.
and that's just not cool.
Yeah. No, yeah, you definitely could see that being a thing, and that's what I kind of meant earlier about Amazon getting more money from people by having a higher subscription level.
Yeah.
So
No, I got you.
definitely will be interesting to see what happens.
Mhm.
But in some kind of terrifying news here, recently found out here that some of the self-driving car companies have been using GTA 5's AI drivers to teach their cars.
Aren't those AI drivers kind of terrible
Yeah.
and like prone to anger and flip out on you and things like that?
Yeah, and randomly decide they're going to drive down the sidewalk and mow down a bunch of pedestrians or shoot you or blow you up. Yeah, no, that's a thing.
I see. Well, I will definitely not be attaching missile launchers to my self-driving car in the near future.
Well, the thing is from what I understand of that, there is a random factor to the GTA driving logic that is meant to make it so that rather than everybody always obeying the law, you have those random instances happening.
Right,
This is
because
true.
people themselves are random, and I get that. It's just rather surprising that of all things that would be used, it's a Rockstar algorithm.
Oh yeah, in GTA they have like a really good actual driving algorithm, but they also have a randomness factor that they throw in because if everyone obeyed the law and was a decent driver in that game, it'd be really dull.
It would not be an accurate simulation of California.
That's a potential right there. I mean,
I'm right. Come on, Kyle. I'm right.
I mean, I'm the only one who's driven in California of this party here, so
Oh, I deal. Remember, I bike the road.
that's
I deal with the drivers, dude. I'll trade you. I'll
So-
trade you any day.
that's a little different, but yeah. So I mean, it does make sense, but it also is terrifying at the same time.
absolutely,
that
absolutely
We're
terrifying.
using basically a video game to program things. So, but I mean, I guess if it works, it works, and they apparently say that doing this saves them, you know, millions of miles driven and hundreds of years worth of research by just letting the game tell them what people do.
One step closer to my self-driving car.
There you go. But that is it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the American Truck Podcast. If you like this, make sure you leave a comment down below. Actually, maybe even hit the like button. Leave a clickety-click on the subscribe button. But if you've got a particular comment, maybe about that Twitch subscription thing, what do you think about it? Are you a Twitch streamer? Are you a watcher of Twitch streams? Maybe you would be interested in one of these higher tiers for people. Let us know down below. And we will see you guys in the next one.